Welcome to Bird Camp Radio, where the coveys rise from the high pines, marsh valleys, sagebrush seas, and the shelf rock ledges. Here at camp, the fire's always glowing, the dogs are never far, and the stories of birds, wild places, and the upland life are just beginning. This is Bird Camp Radio. Before we get into today's episode, I want to thank a company Rachel and I personally trust, Pet Commute. We have worked with them several times ourselves, and I can tell you firsthand, they are reliable, safe, punctual, and they give frequent transport updates. That peace of mind matters, especially when it's your dog. If you're a breeder, buyer, trainer, running field dog trials, traveling to a hunt, or honestly just need to get a pet somewhere safely, Pet Commute is a perfect fit for bird dog folks. They offer free transportation quotes, and make sure to mention Bird Camp Radio to get 10% off your pet's travel. Check the link in the show notes, our social media bios, or the comments. I highly recommend them. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bird Camp Radio podcast. I'm your host, Kellen Golightly, and we're excited to be here for our episode 36 with Lucas Koolstra. He sent in his bio a little bit earlier, and I'm going to read that for us real quick before we get started. Lucas Koolstra is a South Dakota-based hunting guide with a passion for upland birds and introducing others to quality hunting experiences. He spends each fall guiding pheasant hunters across South Dakota and also leads hunts for a variety of other upland hunting bird species as well. In the spring, Lucas works as a turkey hunting guide, helping hunters pursue one of North America's most popular game birds. Unlike many lifelong hunters, Lucas did not begin hunting until he was 18 years old. Since then, he has developed a deep appreciation for upland hunting, particularly chasing different species of grouse throughout their range. He is also a former seasonal park ranger, bringing extensive knowledge of wildlife, habitat, and the outdoors to his guiding career. Known for his unique perspectives on hunting, Lucas openly describes himself as an apologist for road hunting and enjoys discussing the realities and misconceptions surrounding various hunting methods. Although he spends much of his time around bird hunters and hunting dogs, he currently does not own a dog of his own. Lucas has previously appeared on the Dreaded Archer podcast, where he shared his experiences as guide and upland hunter, whether guiding pheasant and turkey hunters, exploring grouse country, or discussing hunting culture and conservation. Lucas brings an honest and thoughtful perspective shaped by years spent in the field. Lucas, we're excited to have you on, man. How are you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Hey, that's what we love to hear. We enjoy listening to your bio and getting to know you through it. But before we dig into the podcast today, we'd like to play that quick game of rapid fire around the campfire game with you. If you don't have any questions, we'll just get started.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Favorite wild bird to chase?
Grouse.
Most challenging bird?
Rough grouse.
Favorite dog trait?
Ooh, off switch.
Best bird for eating?
Turkey.
Go-to field snack?
Beef jerky.
Dream hunting destination?
Alaska.
Favorite month to hunt?
October.
Game bag or vest?
Mystery ranch.
Solo hunt or with a group?
Solo.
Lead or steel shot?
Lead.
There we go, man. That's what I'm talking about. And we'll release your time at the end of the podcast, so everybody stay tuned for that.
All right.
There we go. Get to know you. Not too bad, was it?
No, not too bad.
That's good. No, that's awesome, man. So with that put away, what we like to do here on this podcast, as many of you guys know, but if there's any new listeners out there, we we really like to focus on the bio of each uplander and what they do and how they got into upland game hunting and what they're continuing to do in the tradition. So kind of just going back to the beginnings for you, um, as your bio said, you started at 18 years old. What was that like for you starting then, and how did you get into it?
Well, I didn't even really bird hunt all that much, especially not upland. Um, I had done a little bit before, but it was mostly fishing. I've been into fishing for a really long time since I was like middle school. I got into it real heavy. Then my stepdad took me and my mom deer hunting, and then after that, some duck hunting. And then after those experiences, I was kind of like, well, I should just try to do everything. So I started doing a little of this and a little of that with some college buddies, and then right after college, I got offered to help out at a pheasant lodge from a family friend, and started doing that. And I got into pheasants, and then from there, I started hearing about grouse. I started looking for them when I would be out deer hunting, and then start making trips for them, uh, you know, just for them themselves, and then really got into turkey hunting somewhere along the way in there. And then after getting some own guiding experience for a couple different lodges, then I figured I'd do it myself, and here I am now doing a little bit of everything.
Hey, there you go, man. keeps you busy throughout the year for sure. Keeps you
Oh
be
yeah.
able to have the hobbies throughout every month of the year, and that's always a good thing to have. I know for us, it's kind of the same thing. Like, kind of just, of course, my biggest thing is upland hunting. Absolutely love upland hunting, but I mean, deer and elk out here in Utah are pretty great to
Oh yeah.
hunt. We've done a little bit of waterfowl here and there, but I mean, it's fun to be able to have something basically every month of the year keeping you busy.
Oh, absolutely. Always something around the corner, some opener, something's in season, good time of year for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. No, that's awesome. That's great to hear. I mean, getting into upland hunting. I mean, you were hunting before then, but really stepped into that at 18 years old. Ever since, been just kind of going into it. I know for me, like with the grouse at least, I'd basically been hunting every other species of upland my whole life except for grouse. Um, but my dad would always talk about like when he was younger, and that's how I kind of got into it. Was when we started doing a lot of deer and elk hunting. When I turned the age of being able to do that, we just put a 410 in the scabbard. Um, when we were packing in horses and stuff like that, and sure enough, that's we didn't get no elk or deer for sure. We were getting grouse.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a shotgun with you, even if you're, you know, just riding around looking for deer, or elk hunting, or antelope hunting. And it's like I said, South Dakota, you can road hunt, so the shotgun during season is always just kind of in the truck, loaded. So if you come across something, you got the opportunity.
Oh yeah, you might as well take it right then and there.
Mm.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I love to hear it. So, with that, I mean, you do your own guiding there in South Dakota. What's that experience been like for you, and how did that get started?
So I do kind of two different things with that. I independent contract for a pheasant lodge, and then I have my own thing kind of going for turkeys. Pheasant lodge is I work for someone else. He's got the lodges and dogs, and I just help out and clean a whole lot of birds. Um, the turkey stuff started a couple of years ago. I really wanted to get into that, and went through the permit process in the Black Hills National Forest. Got that all approved. Did all the legal stuff, getting insurance and all that good things, and started advertising. And then I started that 3 springs ago now. This year I just wrapped up my third at the beginning of May. And first season, I think I had 3 clients, and then the second season last year I had 5, and then this year I had 8 groups. So went from like 3 birds to like 6 birds to this year there was like 26 turkeys got killed in camps that I was in, and I guided personally 15 of those. So it's just
Wow,
kind of
yeah, that's
grown
a
a little
good.
bit
That's
every year.
No, that's great, man. Being able to have kind of two different things you got going on. Is that what you do full time then now, or?
Well, I do have a regular day job there. I'm pretty blessed to have a day job that's real flexible with that. They basically just kind of allow me to go whenever I want. I just, all right, I'm going to be guiding for a month during turkey season. I'll see you when I'm back. And they say, okay. So it works out pretty good. But basically, from September to mid December, I'm busy in the fall. And then for about a month in the spring, pretty much most of April, bleeds in a little bit into May. And then the summer and the winter, I have my regular day job. So back into the kind of slower part of the year for me now.
Oh, there you go. And then you were you were a former seasonal park ranger. Do you still do any of that, or is that in the past
No,
now?
no, I did it for a couple of years and I liked the work. I was in Iowa and their biggest park district, I guess you'd call it. Dealt with like 400 or 500 campsites over a. It's a big chain of lakes over there that I worked at, and really liked the work. Hours were not so good. Pay was not so good. There's a lot of gripes coming from my bosses who had the kind of jobs that I was thinking I wanted about what they didn't like about the jobs. So I was like, well, maybe I don't know that I want to do that so bad. And then started my own business, and that's gone over pretty well. And I can kind of see a path forward expanding that. So I think there's a little more opportunity for me to grow in that than there was on the state side or Department of Natural Resource side. And I've been happy with it so far, and I think we're just going to keep going with that for a while.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. I mean, it's definitely been an interesting haul for a lot of those state guys, and even at a federal level with what we're talking about with the Forest Service and things like that right now. It's there's quite a bit of things changing right now.
Yeah,
Probably the
I wouldn't
probably the
want to.
best for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm relying on myself as opposed to whichever way the wind blows, determining whether I get paid or not, or whatever local. It depends on what level you're at and all that. But there's politics involved with every state agency, and there's always going to be a subset of people who don't like what the state agency does, regardless of what they do. I think some state agencies do a good job, and then you see people trashing them. And then I think other ones don't do such a good job, but then other people say they're doing a great job. So it's you can't please everybody, and at least with my job, I just got to please the client that I'm with, which is a little more easy.
Yeah, yeah. Makes it a little bit easier dealing with one single person instead of like the politics, like you're
Yeah.
saying. I completely get that. Oh, that's awesome, man. So when it comes to the bird hunting, I mean, you're in South Dakota. I mean, great state for upland game. I mean, of course, you got your pheasants and grouse. I honestly didn't realize. Of course, I feel like many people, until you really dig into South Dakota, I mean, first thing you think of, at least for Utahns like me, is usually the pheasant hunting side of it. But we've had a few guys on from the Dakotas now, and I've heard that the grouse populations are actually quite fair over there, and I never even thought about that as an idea.
Oh yeah. I mean, South Dakota is the pheasant capital of the world, bar none. So that's what everybody thinks of course, and that's what all the people travel to South Dakota for to go hunt. But there's the Missouri River divides the state, and everything east of the Missouri is pretty much cornfields, soybean, real heavy ag stuff that you're expecting to see pheasants in. But then you go across the river, and it gets to be a lot more rolling hills, draws, and coulees, short grass prairie, and it's excellent sharp-tailed grouse habitat pretty much everywhere West River. You'll get some pheasants mixed in plenty in West River too. Um, but then in certain spots, you also get prairie chickens too, which South Dakota's got one of the best populations of prairie chickens too, because they're threatened in a lot of their natural, in their original range anyway. But they're doing pretty decent out here. And then we even have a handful of rough grouse in the Black Hills. And then there's even a handful of sage grouse, but they don't have a season on them. So there really is a lot more than just pheasants out here. And, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I never myself even thought of that. I mean, I'd love to get out there and hunt some of the grouse because I mean here in Utah we got our ruffed grouse, our blue grouse, and then our sharpies and sage grouse. That's our four species here. But um, I mean with blue grouse and rough grouse, we're able to hunt usually starting September 1 till December 31st, which is a pretty good season. But when it comes to our sage grouse and sharp-tailed grouse, it's a different conversation there. I mean, it's all a draw system.
Oh,
I've been
sure.
putting in for the past few years and have come up unsuccessful each year so far. So hopefully at some point, I don't know necessarily what the population is looking like. I know it's dwindling from what it sounds like, but hopefully we can get a turn there because I always hear stories of guys here who that wasn't even a thought back in the day, and now that's kind of the sad reality that we're dealing with now.
Yeah, you hate to see the opportunities leave. Like North Dakota, um, sage grouse just got declared extinct in North Dakota, and in South Dakota they know where some leks are at, and they do a count every year. And if there's enough of them, they'll put out like 5 tags or something like that. But I don't even know when the last time they did that was. So I don't know that I'll ever have the chance to shoot a sage grouse in South Dakota.
See, I heard about that earlier this year that never did find any leks there, and that's just crazy to me, man. It's like it's kind of just a dying breed, I believe, and it's just sad to see it. I think
Yeah,
Wyoming has a pretty good population from what I've heard, but I
yeah, them
know
and
I had a
Montana
few family
salts.
members this year.
But yeah, I
Montana,
gotta.
yeah, that's another one that I heard that's pretty dang good.
I talked to a guy from Nevada during turkey season. I guess he says he's got a lot of sage grouse down there, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would have never even expected with Nevada.
Yeah,
Would have never
I
even
didn't
seen
think
that
so either, but
coming.
I guess that's what he
North.
was saying. Have you checked off some of those
That's
species,
interesting.
sharp tails or prairie chickens?
I haven't. I haven't. I've only hunted. Well, I've only put in for our draw system here in Utah. I'd like to get out to Wyoming possibly and do that hunt maybe this coming year, this coming season, maybe just see because I honestly don't even know how how many years it takes to even draw out. I think sharp
Sure.
tail would be probably easier here in Utah, but sage grouse I think it's gonna be quite some time before I see
You get
anything.
to it. Yeah, well, South Dakota's a good place to go. Can knock off all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, might as well go and try it while you can.
Yeah,
All right, everyone. Quick shout out to our friends at Pet Commute. If you ever tried coordinating dog transport yourself, you know it's not simple. Whether it's a new pup coming home, a finished dog heading to a buyer, a field trial trip, or even, let's be honest, your wife needing her little mutt transported safely, Pet Commute handles it professionally. Rachel and I have personally transported with them, and I can confidently say they are reliable, safe, punctual, and they keep owners updated the entire trip. They offer free quotes, and if you mention Bird Camp Radio, you'll get 10% off your pet's travel. Hit the link in the show notes, comments, or our socials. No, so I got a question. So when it comes to dogs, I mean, I'm in the same position where, as right now, me and my wife are renting a place until we can buy our own house. Hopefully here soon, within the next few months, and maybe short of that, hopefully. But until then, we can't have bird dogs. And so I kind of fall into the same category with you, hunting. hunting. I mean, we have family. My dad. I have other family that have bird dogs as well, and a few friends. But if it's just me out there, it's just me. So, what's that like for you coming from that perspective, without hunting with a bird dog?
Um, it's just kind of what I'm used to. Um, Especially in like the when I go out in the Black Hills, which is kind of mountainous. There's sharp tails out there too, which is kind of strange. No one ever talks about sharp tail grouse that are in mountains. I don't know uh, if anybody else, except for that one guy I listened to from South Dakota. He was talking about him too, but I don't know. You walk a lot and kind of hope for the best. Sometimes you got an idea where they're at, and you know, not all grouse are particularly bright. And I think in some of those spots, I don't think they get hunted hardly at all. So sometimes you can get lucky with that, but other times, early in the year is better. I mean, you just go and you walk around, especially for grouse. The short grass lends itself to. I mean, you can see them a little bit better. It's not like a pheasant. They're in the tall, thick, nasty stuff, and they can really run around. And if you don't have a dog hunting pheasants, but you might as well just road hunt them and try and get one or two that way. But then you shoot them, and then you go into some thick stuff, and you got a hard time finding them sometimes too. So um, it's definitely easier to hunt grouse by yourself than it is pheasants, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, is you got to put on a lot of miles. Just walk and be ready when it happens.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree when it comes to pheasants and grouse. I mean, I know when we're up hunting, past few years we haven't drawn out on deer or elk. Some of my other family has, so we just go up there and hunt grouse the whole time during those hunts, and we'll be sitting in the side by side. I mean, half the time, most of them come right off the right off the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And makes it pretty easy that way.
Hmm.
I know, but I mean, this past year was a little difficult for us, honestly. It was.
Sure. Yeah. Later in the year, it can be. Then it's next to impossible. I mean, I've gone grouse hunting in some spots I've been before, like on opener later in the year, and it's just like you can find them, but then they get up way early, and it's just like there's just no chance. You gotta luck into them somehow or another. But that's all part of it. It's hunting. It's not killing. You're not always gonna have it work out so easily.
That's right. That's right. I know that's how it is for us here. I mean, of course, earlier in the season's better because I mean, our rough grouse and blue grouse, they all reverse migrate, of course. So early in the season, you're able to hit them at maybe 5,000, 6,000 feet in elevation, but by December, you're looking at 7,000, 8,000 feet in elevation, and it's almost impossible. I mean, you're where we're at. I mean, you're a few feet in snow at that point trying to hit birds. So,
Yeah, that's something
but
that
it's fun.
we don't even have that. I don't think. That's a whole foreign concept to me about thinking about elevations when hunting. I mean, like most of South Dakota is pretty flat. It's for the sharp tails and the prairie chickens, but and then there's only a handful of rough grouse in one little part of the state, and I've really yet to even figure them out. I got one on the Wyoming side in the Black Hills, but not on the South Dakota side. I saw two of them, so I'm at least trending in the right direction, but I'm yet to actually shoot one in South Dakota.
Oh yeah, they're little bottle rockets, man. I mean, I think I've taken out probably more pine trees than I have rough grouse in my career of it all.
Yeah, the first
Oh,
time
it's funny.
I got one last year, I had never seen one in the Black Hills. So then I went to the Wyoming side because that season was open at the time and South Dakota's wasn't. And I was walking around and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm walking through the right stuff. And then I was getting to thinking, I'm like, boy, if I see one after all this time I've spent walking around, I'm almost certainly gonna miss. And that's exactly what happened. We got up and I shot a bush right behind it, then it landed, and then I was able to get it after that. But that, yeah, is just you got to figure it out, and I'm starting to figure out where they want to hang out, but I don't know. There's a lot to be learned yet about what they like for habitat, which is interesting with them. You're always thinking about, oh, well, they like aspens, but then you read articles and it's like, well, they're not always in aspens. And it's like, well, that doesn't really help me out so much. Whereas, like, pheasants is like, I can tell you where pheasants are going to be just by looking at at the cover, and grouse is just kind of open. It's just like, well, start walking and hopefully you find a sharp tail or a prairie chicken. But yeah, the
Right.
roughies, it's a whole other ball game.
Oh, I completely agree with that. I mean, like you said, I mean, for you, there's a lot of a different aspect and terrain when it comes to Utah and South Dakota. I'd be completely lost when it came to South Dakota. I wouldn't even know probably. But I find it interesting because we've had a few guys on from like quite a few guys from Oregon, and I mean here in Utah, I mean a lot of where you're if there are wild pheasants, I mean most of ours are pen raised birds that they release throughout the season, but we
Hmm.
still do have small dwindling uh, population of wild birds, but a lot of these birds, I mean, you're in the marsh, you're in the tules, you're out in a field. I mean, they're out in the more of the valley areas where we live. But out in Oregon, I'm hearing these stories where these guys are out shooting ruffed and blue grouse with pheasants and quail, and I'm sitting there like, what in the world? I'm like, this is a completely different ball
Yeah,
game over there,
that's
man. I'm
got to
like,
be some interesting
shooting pheasants
habitat.
up.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Yeah,
never
it's
seen one
crazy.
up in any kind of elevation, really.
Yeah, it just blows my mind because you get so caught up in like your own little bubble and it's like this is just how it is everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I it's like no, it's like this is completely different.
Yeah, that's a,
That's
a good
awesome.
point because like I've looked for them and looked for them in the Black Hills, and I know there's not a lot there. So it's like I still got to figure some stuff out. But then last year I did take a trip and go to northern Minnesota, and then they're kind of all over the place out there. I mean, I read up on their website that 500,000 rough grouse get harvested annually in Minnesota. I'm like, well, that's like half the amount of pheasants that get
Wow.
harvested in South Dakota. And I'm like, well, that's kind of impressive because they're only in half of Minnesota, really, just the northern half. So we go up there, and then it's like, oh, they're kind of everywhere. But then the terrain's all different. So it's like, I don't know if I'm really figuring anything out because the terrain's so much different than South Dakota's. But it was a fun time nonetheless because I got to actually see a lot of them and end up getting a good number of them. Um, so that was good. But I'm like, I don't know if if I figured anything else like helpful.
Right, right. I get you on that. Yeah, I mean it always feels like as soon as you got it figured out, you don't. I
Oh
know
yeah.
that's how it was 2 years ago. I mean, it was a great year. I mean, we were getting into blue grouse and rough grouse like crazy, and then looked forward to last year's season, and it was an absolute struggle. Like
Mm,
completely opposite kind of season, and it's just like, man, I thought we had it figured out, had all the honey holes, and then go back the next year, and it was just dead. I'm like, dang it. But
yeah.
I feel like that's the kind of the fun thing with you get a bird dog. I mean, you got to learn. I mean, you take it all in when you're doing it yourself. Like you said, you put in a lot of miles when you don't got a bird dog, and
Oh yeah.
you start learning habitat where they're at. You start paying
Mhm.
attention to that a little bit more. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That they seem to like thinned out timber and younger stands of trees and stuff like that. You start to figure out a little bit of that, and it starts to make a little bit of sense. I think that's applicable across all of their range, but yeah, I don't know. Still got to figure out exactly what they're doing in the Black Hills and get on one here or there, but eventually
Got
it'll happen.
something to look forward to this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. No, that's awesome. So, I mean, as of right now, we're kind of on the off season with bird hunting. I mean, we're gonna be picking up here in the next few months. What do you do with your time on the off season? What are the things keeping you busy?
Well, I like to fish too. Just this past weekend, I got a little boat that I like to take out on the weekends to a lake that's just an hour and a half away. Just camp out there, and I know that lake pretty well, so I fish it pretty hard and try and catch some walleye or catfish or you know whatever wants to bite. Eventually, it gets hot and the fishing isn't real good, but it keeps me busy enough. I don't take the fishing probably quite as serious. Do it a little more casually. Just kind of like to hang out at the lake too. But yeah, a lot of fishing too. I do fish a lot though. I spend a lot of time out on the lake.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's what kind of what we've been doing. We just wrapped up with our turkey season. Just what that would have been about roughly a week ago, 2 weeks ago at this point now. And now it's been just fly fishing until September 1 now. So
Yeah,
keep
there you go.
hoping.
I do a little
Yes,
bit of that
sir.
every once in a while.
There you go. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. Love every bit of it. And going up to Montana next week to do a little bit more fly fishing, see how it is up there. So it'll
No,
be
there you
it'll
go.
be good.
Any new
No,
species?
that's awesome. Oh man, I'm not looking for anything in particular as of right now. Mostly looking for like cutthroats and rainbows. Where I'm at, we get a lot of browns with the rivers that I fish.
Sure.
Few cutthroats, not a whole lot of rainbows. There used to be years ago, but where we fish now, not nearly as much. So it'd be fun to be able to get into a few of those a little bit more now.
Sure. Yeah, for us it's kind of the opposite. There's rainbows that are stocked kind of everywhere across the whole state, and then a lot of the streams have browns, and then fewer have brooks. So I like fishing for brown trout and brook trout when I can.
Oh yeah, rookies are fun, man. I mean, we last year we drew out. Me and my buddy drew out for a deer hunt down in southern Utah near Moab, and we got into this one little spot. Not many people, I don't think many people fished it, but man, there was brookies like crazy. I mean, you drop a fly out there and it was within seconds, and just heyday. It was amazing.
Yeah, I like
It was great.
their attitude's usually a little bit better than brown trout in my experience. They're usually a little more willing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're a little bit more aggressive when it comes to it. A lot more fun to fight. I feel like it's
Mhm.
great. No, that's awesome, man. Um, this has been a lot of fun being able to get to know you, um, more about how you got into the upland game community and what you're doing within it. But I always like to ask one question before we close out. And I ask this to every single guest, and that's, do you have any advice for some new upland game hunters coming into the tradition, or guys that have already been in it for who knows how long? You can answer it however you want to answer the question. You can answer it for the new guys or the older guys, or you can answer both.
Ooh, I suppose for the new guys, but also applies for the old guys, is go shoot some trap. When you're new and you might not quite know what you're doing, you may or may not have a dog. You might not be hunting the best habitat. Um, it's really disheartening if you get something up after a whole lot of work and then you miss. And I mean you're gonna miss. Everyone's gonna miss. It's the way that it is. But get handy with your shotgun. Figure out which one you like and use that one a lot. Um, I've started to get into a few different shotguns, but for the longest time, I pretty much just used the one for everything. And every once in a while, when I'm guiding, I'll flip shotguns with someone else, and it just kind of reminds me, like, yeah, this feels different. It weighs different. It swings different. I just kind of like my shotgun that I know, and it feels like an extension of my arm, and you get comfortable with it, and you get better with it, and all that good stuff. So I don't know. Go shoot, get comfortable with your particular gun.
Oh, I completely agree, man. I know I need to do more of that. I remember the last time I went out and shot trap, we don't even talk about that. It's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
I'm,
rookie,
I'm
man.
no I'm no great trap shooter myself either. I miss plenty, but
It's good practice to get out there. Yeah, I mean, last time we went out, I mean, known for upland game hunting, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna go great, and it's like, at the end of it, it's like, I'm not gonna say a single word after this, man. It was just embarrassing.
yeah, like
But I completely agree. Goes for everybody with that. Goes with everybody.
yeah, first part of the
Yeah,
season
that's awesome.
always rough. You haven't shot at a flying target in 8 months or whatever, and then you get humbled pretty quickly, and then by the end of the year, you feel like you know what you're doing just for season to end, and then it's like, all right, back to square one.
That's literally how it is, man. It's like start get warmed up to it, feeling good, and then it's over. I
Oh, yeah,
love it. No, man, that's great advice. I love to hear it. I love asking that question to everybody. I love to hear what everybody has to say. But I just want to say thanks for coming onto the podcast, sharing a little bit more about you and what you're doing and how you got into it and what you continue to do. So thanks for coming on, man.
yeah, absolutely. Glad you had me.
Thank you again, everyone, for listening to the Bird Camp Radio podcast. I hope you enjoyed episode 36 with Lucas Koolstra as much as I did. But before you go, we need to release Lucas's time for the rapid fire around the campfire game. Lucas, your time was 56.02 seconds, which puts you in 27th place out of our 36 guests. Once again, everyone, you can find the Bird Camp Radio podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can also watch it now on YouTube. Go give it a watch and see what you think. Please let us know. We like to hear and have recommendations from each one of you. And remember, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Birdcamp Radio as well. Don't forget, we do have our merchandise store where you can get your shirts, hoodies, whatever you want on there. That'll be in the link as well. Thank you again, everyone. Until next time. You've been listening to Bird Camp Radio, where the high pines, marsh valleys, sagebrush seas, and shelf rock ledges always call us back. Until next time, keep your dogs close, your shot true, and your campfire stories ready to share. We'll see you back at camp. Don't miss out on the next episode, where we'll host our next guest on the podcast. You don't want to miss this one. Thank you.